Hey, it's Amy Scott Grant. They call me the spiritual ass kicker, and welcome back. We've got another real world example for you using the Discovery deck. Now, the spiritual ass kicker's Discovery deck is a deck of my own creation. Nothing else like it in the world exists that I'm aware of. And the purpose is to get to the root cause of any blocked out fear or limiting belief. So we've gotten a lot of positive feedback on these real world examples as far as helping people understand not only how to use the deck, but you may be able to relate to this person's issue and get some benefit from it in that way as well. The decks are available on Amazon or on my website, askamyanything.com. So here is this person's issue. This is really, really interesting, and I'm really proud of her for sharing this. Okay, here we go. She says, so my trading career has stalled due to fear, no, dread of loss. My physical challenges, she has MS, and it says the MS has now segued into almost total muscle pain and weakness. I'm going to shuffle while I'm reading this to you. The above is due to undercurrents of fear, I'm sure, about what will happen to me financially when my private disability pension comes to an end in a year's time if I don't find another source of income. So the stalled trading seems to be paramount. I'm successful on demo, but become a cringing whipped cat when I go live. That definitely sounds like some fear. Now, what's interesting is later on, I think it was like the next day, she sent me a follow-up email. I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but I'm going to read you this part because I feel like this is very, very relatable. Amy, I've been living small for so long. I let this MS and other tragedies define and constrict me. It seems easy for me to decide every night that yes, tomorrow morning I will start with Qigong and meditate and remember that just because I am, that I am therefore connected to source, etc., etc., etc. But in the cold light of day, it's all I can do to creak out of bed and go for that cup of coffee, then sit in front of this computer all day long. I haven't been able to drive for years, and I can't walk without pain and extreme fatigue. Weak, 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 pathetic. Seems like all I really want is a knight in shining armor to come and just do it all for me because I can't do this on my own. Then in parentheses, she put negative belief, question mark. And I'm going to send this anyway because maybe, just maybe. All right, honey, here we go. So I've shuffled the cards and now I'm fanning them out. You know what? Let me use the pendulum just so you can see like how that might look. I would use a pendulum. I'm using a peacock keychain. If you need a fancy pendulum, go to custompendulums.com, right? Sally will make you an awesome one. But I'm going to show you what it looks like when we use the pendulum to choose the cards, okay? So I'm just kind of holding it over the deck, and ooh, it started swinging like super, super strong when I got over a certain one. Okay, and then let's see, the red. It does take a little longer, but oh, yep, started swinging. We got over that one. I can already see this one wants to come out. So that's just a different way that you can find the proper cards. Again, like I've said before, there's no like wrong way to do this. The main thing is just use it. Use the deck, get comfortable with it, find your own groove. So the red cards, as you probably know by now, are the type of block. Yeah, it's not really super surprising to me. No wonder this person kind of like wanted to give up even after making the request of me. It's kind of like, I didn't read you that part of her email, but it was kind of like, I don't know, do I even like deserve to have you check in on this? Yeah, that's that vow of silence. That's saying maybe I should just shut up about all this. Okay, so now that we know that's in place, sacred contract also came up, which is a solemn vow or pact. And then there's this card, self-denial. You think? Yeah, I definitely got that in reading her description of what's going on. Refusal to acknowledge. In terms of where the block is, oh, look at that. Interesting. We haven't seen this card yet in the recent, sorry about the glare. Emotional body. So what's being expressed or suppressed. Faith and anger. Wow. Just seeing these two cards together makes me wonder if you grew up in an organized religion. I wonder, because when faith and anger go hand in hand, it's usually like that's kind of what's going on is like there's anger around your faith, or if you feel like faith hasn't, like you've kept the faith and it hasn't pulled you through to where you want to be, there can be anchor around that. All right, so let me check in and see what's going on here. So to do this clearing, the very first thing you got to do is clear this vow of silence, right? Maybe I should do some videos on how to clear vow of silence. It's really pretty easy, but a lot of times if you try to move forward and clear stuff without resolving the vow of silence, it doesn't get you very far. So that would definitely be the first thing that I would resolve. And of course you could put a crystal grid on it, right? And get it sorted out that way. The second thing I would do is the sacred contract, and I feel like this is very much related. I feel like the sacred contract is specifically about self-denial. And let's just consult our handy pamphlet, right? Self-denial. What are you refusing to give yourself or acknowledge about yourself? Sounds to me like your greatness, your power, your magnificence. You're just like, what? You're breaking up. I can't hear you. What? Amy, what? Yeah. So these two feel very, very related to me, that this consistent self-denial feels tied to a sacred contract. I literally wouldn't be surprised if your computer crashed right now as I'm saying this, because the vow of silence is still intact. The sound breaks up, you suddenly, like, the speaker blows, you can't hear a word I'm saying. Oh, that's kind of like the way vow of silence works till you get that resolved. Now, I also get that you have, whatever this is around faith, there's either a lack of faith or you're very frustrated and angry about faith, yours or in general. And I feel like there's way more than anger lodged in your emotional body. Actually, when I check in around your emotional body, it just feels kind of like a train wreck, honestly. And I feel like that's what's caused like all the pain and fatigue, is there's a lot of unresolved and unprocessed emotions that are like lodged in your body. God, no wonder you're tired. You feel like you can barely get through the day. There's all this baggage, emotional baggage, that's really truly weighing you down. So I would put a crystal grid. This would be my advice too, if I drew this card for you. I mean, I know I drew it for this person, but if I drew it for you who's watching this now, my advice would be put a crystal grid on this vow of silence and get that shit resolved. And once that's resolved, address the sacred contract. Rewrite it, dissolve it, whatever is optimal. And once that's handled, start healing the emotional body. Now, this feels like to me that it's some type of physical cleanse or detox, along with a lot of outpouring of emotion. It's not necessarily the most pleasant process, but I feel like it's what's going to get you through, and there needs to be like a physical component to it at the same time that the emotional outpouring is happening. So what does emotional outpouring look like? I don't know. You can like journal until your hand feels like it's going to fall off. It's just, you're just pouring out, and whether you're talking through that, whether you're screaming, crying, watching sad movies that bring up a lot of emotions or make you think, like, maybe you have to watch Beaches, followed by Terms of Endearment, followed by Prince of Tides, followed by, I don't know, I would say a more recent movie, but I don't think I've watched a real tearjerker lately. No, I never saw The Notebook. Sorry, can't help you with that one. Yeah, there's like an outpouring of emotion that needs to happen in conjunction with a physical healing, like a physical detox. Once that's done, I feel like whatever anger is left is going to be pretty easily manageable for you to resolve. And then there comes the time to reassess this. What does this mean to you? What do you want it to mean to you? Do you have like an old outdated definition of faith? You can't answer any of these questions now. You got to get through all this process first. But then it's like, look at, okay, what does faith mean to you? What would you like it to mean to you? What do you need to let go about what you used to believe about this in order to create a fresh start with it? And then I feel like you'll be able to move forward powerfully in a very real and successful way. I feel like that's really when the trading is going to take off for you, is when you don't have all this emotional baggage that you're bringing into every trade. No wonder you're like paralyzed by fear. There's so much emotion that's like stuck in here. And the faith card, right? Like, yeah, you could do it on paper, you can do it in demo mode all day long, but you don't have the faith that it's really going to pull through for you when you do it IRL, right? In real life. So I hope this was helpful, not just for the person whose issue this was, but for anyone who's watching. And if you have questions, post them below. If you know people that would benefit from this video, please share it. And get yourself a copy or two of the Spiritual Ass Kickers Discovery Deck, available on Amazon or shop.askamianything.com. I'll see you in the next video.